Okay, so I'm going to do a short video on how to assemble a Raptor Charcoal Grill. To do the assembly, you'll need one pair of pliers and one Phillips screwdriver to install or assemble the entire grill. So we'll start out with the lid. You can see here this is the top handle. I'm going to start with the Raptor name and logo in right side up relative to me. I'm going to flip it this direction. The next step is to include these rubber washers, which are critical to adding a temperature break between the handle and the lid. And I'm basically just going to put one of these centered on each of the mounting legs for the handle, just like that. Once that's done, I'm going to take the lid, and here you can see this is the inside of the lid, and you can see the Raptor logo here is facing me. And all I'm going to do is look through one of the bolt holes and try to get that centered up best I can as I drop it down. And then for the most part, line up the next ones, and you can see here that they're more or less aligned. Once that's done, I go through and I place the screws into each of the holes, and I'll make a small adjustment here to the camera, like so. I may have to, if I need, reach underneath and just make a small adjustment to the location of the rubber washer. Once I get all of them started, I'm going to put just a couple of turns on each screw into the plastic lid handle. So once they're all started, then I'm just going to run them down and make sure they're nice and snug. All right, once that's complete, then we move on to the air valve, and I'm just going to prop the lid up at a slight angle here, and that way I can access both the inside and the outside of the lid at the same time. So to install this, typically what I will do is I'll insert the screw into the air valve, and then I'm going to insert the air valve, and I'm going to make sure that this tab is hanging off the side of the grill, and from there I can roll this back down, and I'm going to use the get the nut started here. Now once I get to this point, I'm going to tip it back up, and I'm going to use a pair of pliers to hold the nut and use my screwdriver on the other side as I tighten it up. And here I'm going to play a little bit to make sure that I get the air valve seated so it's nice and snug, but I don't want it so tight that I can't turn it. So that's pretty good right there. Okay, so with that, that's the lid. It's ready to go, and of course you can set the lid on the handle, and we're going to set that aside for now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the base. When we do the base, we're going to start with the legs on the side, and each of those is going to require this machine screw, this flat washer, the star washer, and the nut. And I'm going to do this by starting with, we're going to take the side handle and legs, and I'm going to insert the first screw into the hole. Then I'm going to line that up on the side. I'm going to add the flat washer, then the star washer, and then the nut. And I'm going to move to the next side, and I'm going to insert the screw on that side, and then I will add again the flat washer, the star washer, and the nut. And I'm going to run these down about as far as I can by hand. I don't want to make it tight yet, and I'll show you why that is here in just a moment. Okay, then I'm going to move on to the other side and follow the same procedure. Inserting the screw first in one hole, inserting that into the grill, and the flat washer, the star washer, and the nut. All right, so once we get it to that point, it's important that we get the wobble out. So here we're gonna press down on the grill and make sure that all four of the feet are contacting at the same time with the table. And we may have to push and pull a little bit to get that to happen. And then once we're satisfied with that, then we're going to go ahead and tighten these up as much as we need to. It's important, unlike the air valves, that these get tightened up pretty tight so that you don't have any wobble in the legs. Okay, once we're done with that, we'll move on to the air valve on the bottom. And there are two pieces to that. There's this air valve which goes underneath, and then there is a shield that keeps hot coals and ash from going through the air valve. So this is really a safety piece. But we also have, what holds all of this together is the long machine screw that I showed earlier. We have a spacer. The spacer is threaded, but it actually doesn't thread onto that screw. It's just used as a through bushing, and then a nut. So we're going to start by putting this screw through the air valve, and then I'm going to tip the grill at an angle here so I can get to both sides, and I'm going to insert that. Next, I must add this spacer, and if you'll notice, there is kind of a dish shape to this air valve. I want the dish shaped so it looks like a bowl facing up. So if you can hopefully see that. that goes on next. And then finally the nut. And I'm going to turn this at a slight angle here and get this tightened up. Okay, once we're done, we make sure that we've tightened it to where it's snug, but not so tight that it won't move. Once that's completed, then it's time to add the internal components. You're basically done at this point with the tools. Insert the basket. Insert the grate. Install the lid. And so that's it. This is the fully assembled grill. It takes about 10-15 minutes to put it together completely. And yeah, hopefully this video helps you out. Thank you.